So, hello everyone, I'm Margaret Collins. I'm the founding executive director of the Center for Creative Economy. We're based in Winston-Salem, and we serve creatives all over the North Carolina, at the Southeast, and actually the United States with this specific program that we're going to be talking about today, and even globally. We have people that apply from all over the world. But today we're very pleased to be focusing on Asheville. We may have a few folks that are from other parts of the state, which is fine, but we reached out to our colleagues in Asheville because we know there's so many wonderful creative entrepreneurs there, and we asked them to share info about this session. So I want to introduce two people that are very important in the Asheville area, and that's Jeff Kaplan, who's the Director of Entrepreneurship for Venture Asheville. And also he's with the Asheville Chamber of Commerce. I'm not sure exactly what role. I know you're integral there with the Venture Asheville and the Chamber. And I'm going to also introduce one other person, but I thought, Jeff, maybe you could just say a few words about what you're doing for entrepreneurs in Asheville, and
Sure.
if you have something about creatives, that would be great.
Yeah, so the structure is kind of interesting. That Asheville Area Chamber of Commerce, the city and the county 25 years ago created a public-private partnership called the Economic Development Coalition. And the most recent addition to that Economic Development Coalition was Venture Asheville about 8 years ago. So that's kind of how we fit into the whole hierarchy of the chamber, which we're a part of. We're certainly a division of them, but under the EDC umbrella. And our charge, our mission is to grow the next generation of Asheville headquartered companies. So we focus on new venture creation. We seek to assist startups. These are companies, there's lots of definitions for startups. So we talk about them as ventures with high growth potential that could double revenue year over year. So something very scalable, generally product-based or tech-based, or at least technology components. And we say we build entrepreneurs and get startups funded. We do that through 3 core initiatives: our mentorship program called Elevate, which has been going on for about 5 years. We have a couple financing options. We manage a local angel group. We have a startup road trip where we travel through the state and hold pitch competitions. We actually went to Tennessee and Georgia this year. And we have a microgrant program, which is open for any early stage entrepreneur in Buncombe or Haywood County. And we're going to announce those winners, five $5,000 grant winners, on next Tuesday. So it's an exciting time at Venture Asheville. And then we have a host of programs and events throughout the year, whether it's things like partnering to make sure to do information events, make sure entrepreneurs know about the resources available to them, whether it's a monthly pitch party, which is an open mic night for entrepreneurs. You get up and you say whatever you want for a minute. Or if it's our annual event, the Venture 15, where we rate and rank the fastest growing startups in the area. And it's a great data collection point for us, for our community. So that's what we do. You don't have to be a chamber member to work with us because we're that public-private partnership. We are available for anyone in the area who needs support in growing our startup.
You all host events that bring entrepreneurs together to learn and to access your resources, right? I mean, I guess now you might not be doing as many public events, but
yeah, that's right. We do much less public events right now. And at the beginning of this coronavirus stuff, we went very internal. We triaged all of our companies, about 20 or so startups in our mentorship program, about 50 or so mentors in that program. Wanted to make sure everyone was able to ride this out as best as they could, but we're at the tail end of the triage part. And now we're looking at what new companies we can bring in and how to onboard them to the culture of mentorship we do, which is very unique based on the MIT system in a completely virtual world.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
So we do luncheons. We used to do a really early morning series to bring in with a fireside chats first thing in the morning, kind of different than a 1 Million Cups crowd. That was on purpose. We try to identify gaps in the ecosystem and fill them. And we can find a partner. This is a great example, right? We're not purposely going after a creative program because we can refer folks to Center for Creative Economy or the Center for Craft downtown, right? We don't need to replicate everything, but as long as we can be a good connector, we're doing a good job.
Great. That's perfect. That's what we're trying to do too, is connect people to resources. But you would be interested in working with creative entrepreneurs that fit into your niche of scalable companies.
Yeah, so quick story. One of my favorite ones that really fits this mold is Moonlight Makers, which started off as two moms who were bought a van and were going to festivals selling like t-shirts and tea towels and magnets and mugs, whatever, with these really clever, cute, fun illustrations. So it was one of the founders came from a corporate background. The other was an artist, went to art school, and would travel the country with a band, like a jam band, and she would do live paintings on the side of the stage at like festivals. And together they created Moonlight Makers, and it's really fun art, super creative. It's all puns, lots of food puns, but it's truly just like a high-powered SEO tuned up e-commerce company. So it's pretty cool to put those two together. Right? How do you put that startup discipline with a creative entrepreneur? And that's a really good example of two co-founders coming together to do that.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're seeking too, is to find people that have really cool ideas that could potentially scale, but that are they're in the creative space, and how to really make it happen for them. Great. Well, thank you, Jeff. That was a wonderful overview. I learned a lot. I'm excited that you're on the call today.
Not to be here.
And we also have Gwen Rukenbrod from, and she is the project manager for Craft Your Commerce, and that's a program with Mountain BizWorks. And Gwen has a very broad history of working with craft and with creatives, both in, I think it was another state, and then she moved here. So she can tell you a little bit about that. But Gwen, why don't you share what you're working on specifically in Asheville with Craft Your Commerce, and anything else you want to share about your background and how it all relates.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mountain BizWorks is a learning, lending, and investing institution. It's actually called a CDFI. It is a U.S. Treasury supported lending institution that focuses their lending on small businesses. As many of you may know, the Asheville and Western North Carolina area is has a plethora of small businesses, and Mountain BizWorks helps those small businesses have investments, get loans if need be to grow their businesses, as well as we offer kind of a variety of learning opportunities from people who are just getting started and still in the ideation stage of their business, all the way into growing and scaling their businesses. And so the Craft Your Commerce project is a pretty new program through Mountain BizWorks with a partnership with the Center for Craft and UNCA Asheville. And so basically we support creatives in Western North Carolina. We're about 2.5 years old, and I just started my position on April 16th. So for me, this is all kind of still new to me, but I'm super excited to be here. My background is really interesting. I am a business coach for craft artists. I have supported the professional development of craft artists for about 19 years. I know I don't look old enough to have done that, but I am. I originally grew up in Ohio, and am trained as a hot glass blower, as well. So is my husband, who actually is now a full-time jewelry artist. We moved to Houston, Texas, so I could be the curator of fine craft at the Houston Center for Contemporary Craft for a period of time. And then we relocated to Asheville, North Carolina, and I became the executive director of Handmade in America, which was an economic development organization that grew economies through craft in small towns in Western North Carolina. I left that position in 2013, and Handmade in America did close their doors in 2015. So I'm very excited to come back to the Asheville area to focus on, because the last 7 years I was the director of a national organization that supports jewelry and metal artists called the Society of North American Goldsmiths. So I'm excited to be back focusing on the Western North Carolina craft community and creative community. When we just are in the middle of finishing up, we did a 3-series webinar to kind of help support the creative community in West North Carolina during the pandemic. We do, and I'll put the link in the chat for you all. We do have one last webinar that'll be happening this Friday. It is Mindset Reset, and we have two mindset coaches, Jen Alley and Joanna Haggerty will be doing some mindset work with creatives, because I think right now we all could use a little mindset reset. You do not have to be a creative or in the West North Carolina region to take this. It is a free webinar. It's going to be held on the Zoom platform. But we've been very excited to kind of offer these free webinars to support the creative community, to help them build resilience as we come out of this shelter in place and figure out what the future of the marketplace for creative individuals looks like. We also will be planning some summer classes as well. We had some spring classes in March scheduled that had to be rescheduled. So we're rescheduling those for the summer, and we'll be adding some additional classes to those. So if you are not on the mailing list for Craft Your Commerce, make sure you go to the Mountain BizWorks website, which I'll also put in the chat, and sign up for the mailing list so that you can become informed. But really our purpose is to help provide professional development to the creative community and help them figure out how to scale and grow their business, so then we can feed them into Venture Asheville. So, you know, it all like works intricately together really well. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to, you know, support and be a part of the Center for Creative Economy. And Margaret, thank you for being so warm and welcoming as I begin this new position.
Yes, absolutely. I have a question. I'm on the board of the Piedmont Tribe Film Commission, and we just had this 2-hour call, and the filmmakers are really desperate right now. They're not able to make their films, and they're not getting their PPP loans and all that. I was just thinking they might be good with the mindset reset. Can we invite some of our filmmakers to come to that? All right. Yep. I'll get the thing from the chat and I'll send it. We have an executive director of the Film Commission, and she can get it out to them. But they're really struggling with, and I was trying to say, oh, well, now's their time. You can kind of lead and help other people, but they're also they're just kind of struggling in their situations that they aren't able to look above it right now. So absolutely. I think mindset reset is a really good idea.
It is a good one. And I have a nice visual too that I'll email you as well, Margaret.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, since we have a nice kind of small group, I'd love to share. I'd love to just thank you so much, Gwen, for sharing, and Jeff for sharing too. I'd like to just, if each person on the call could just give us your name and where you're located and your the name of your business. I mean, just help us to know kind of who's on the call before we kind of get going. I see someone named Leon Rubenstein. Leon, would you unmute yourself, or I can unmute, or maybe Kelly. There you go.
Okay.
So Leon, where do you live and what's your business?
Well, first of all, thank you for letting me in for this call. My name is Leon Rubenstein. I'm in Lyon in France.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I'm not completely strange to North Carolina. I used to work in Raleigh many years ago. I traveled in Blue Ridge Mountains, and I have connected with some people in Raleigh and discussing bringing my business to North Carolina, actually, as one of the options. My company is called Mobius, and what we do is the following. You probably are familiar with standing desks in the office.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if you know this fact, but these desks are used on average 90% of the time in the sitting position. And the number one reason for this is fatigue. People get tired standing, which is a shame because they were invented to let people stand and avoid sitting. So what we've developed is what one could call a standing chair, which allows people to stand all day long if necessary, or for as long as they wish without getting tired. And
that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, and naturally taking yoga-like postures and moving their body naturally, all of this without any reminders, without any electricity, pure energy of the body itself. It's based on biomechanical and postural studies. The product is patented.
Great,
and
thank
we'd like
you.
to bring it to US.
Thank you. That sounds awesome. I'm actually at a standing desk right now. I have one. I go
Good
up
for you.
So I'm
Good
standing. Especially,
for
it gives me more energy when we have to present.
Absolutely.
I
Thank
don't
you.
want to cut you off. We'll have plenty of time to talk more at the end. I just want to make sure we get in everybody. Shantaray has left. So Eileen, give us your 30-second elevator pitch. I know
Sure, I just had to unmute myself. I'm the founder of ASWAP, which is a collaborative storytelling platform online that uses mixed media to tell a variety of stories, fiction and nonfiction. The company seeds the original content, and as we go along, the subscribers are invited to swap up audio, video, photography, dialogue, whatever they want that will continue the story. So the story becomes collaborative. We start it off, the subscribers take it over, and everything's filtered through a team of editors. So that's what we do. And we're hoping to launch within 3 months.
Awesome. Thank you. And Eileen is based in what, Greensboro?
Correct.
Greensboro, right. Okay. Karen McKinney, are you there? You want to give us your 30-second pitch?
Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, guys. I'm Karen McKinney. I'm in Winston-Salem, so I do know Margaret. And you guys are a little further along in this process than I am. I'm still forming my business. But I do, we got our LLC in last week, so I'm excited about that.
That's a big step.
That's where we are. It revolves around using art and intention and technology and self-care, because in the practice, it's the art and practice of self-care. So that's where we are, and using virtual tools that we have to help us take care of ourselves, because we're not so good at that.
So you might want to go to that mindset reset on Friday.
Yes, I've started to register for it.
There might be some potential clients there. Okay.
Yeah.
Is Shantaray, Miss Reynolds?
Her name's Shantae, but let's just go ahead and start. And if she's there at the end, we can check in with her.
Anyone else? That's all we have on the call, right? Okay, Shantae. All right, well.
Hi, I'm sorry, my son's on Zoom and his iPad died.
Okay, do you want to give us like a 30 seconds of like who you are, where you live, and what your business is or your idea is?
My name is Shantae Reynolds, and actually I'm on here for my husband, Justin Kinkula. He's in Winston-Salem, and he does woodworking. He makes cutting boards, tables, anything out of wood. And so he goes to Mixer, and the people there had recommended he reach out to y'all.
Okay, so you're repping. You're in the rep position today. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, this is great. So let us we're going to move forward and give you an overview of Velocity, our accelerator, and how we run it and what we do with it. And then we'll take questions at the end. If you have a burning question that you really need answered before the end, just put it in the chat, and Kayla will watch that and make sure that we are answering questions if we, so we don't want to lose the thought if you've got something. Okay, so our team is an amazing group of women, which includes, not me, I'm not that amazing, but I have two wonderful people. Kayla Norris, who's on the call today. She is our Operations and Community Development Coordinator, and Shelby Newsom is our Marketing and Events Coordinator. And we could not do it without them. CCE is in our 9th year. We will be 10 years old next year in 21. So I want to just share with you that what CCE is about is really to address the lack of inception stage business training for creatives and artists. Creatives are really overlooked by a lot of different venture funds and resource providers and entrepreneurial builders. So this is what we do. We really help focus on find creatives that are searching for that the business skill training and bringing it all together into a solid business model with customers and ability to get revenue launched, revenue started. So what I wanted to say today is it's time to embrace this current situation, what we're calling the new now. You know, the world is experiencing this pause, but it's really a perfect time to focus, learn, and cultivate, and really power up your business. It's not a time to wait. I mean, now is a great time to be getting smart about your business, to learn new skills, to pivot, to figure out how to do everything online, because the world's moving that way. So, and I just want to encourage you, because really entrepreneurs can thrive in disruptive times. You can look around and see lots of problems that the virus has laid bare, and you can really use your innovative skills and design skills to solve real world problems. So what we encourage you to use your creative expertise to address issues that really frustrate you. And creative industries, I mean, it's an $800+ billion sector in the U.S. market. We have a $30 billion trade surplus, and this is without a lot of effort being put toward developing creatives. So my colleagues around the country are really focused on trying to get more creative entrepreneurs in growing their businesses, so we can even have a bigger impact to our U.S. economy. But more importantly, to the communities and to the entrepreneurs themselves and to their investors. So the next CCE's programs, we have 3 programs actually. We're going to talk about Velocity, but we have an actual boot camp that we started this year, because we've had a lot of people apply to our Accelerator that still are in the idea stage, and we have realized that maybe if we could help them get further along with the idea and help it get some legs and a solid business model, then they'll be in a better position to take advantage of the very in-depth 9-week Velocity Accelerator program. And then we also have a program that meets monthly. It's called Momentum. We have lively, informative meetups. Right now they're online, but normally we meet for lunch, but we are now determining a different model that we can do. When we are able to gather, we can meet in person and online as well for those that can't be with us. We also have a creative directory and interactive chat that goes along with all of the Momentum website. It's a separate website. On the CCE website, you will see Kinetic, Momentum, and Velocity. They're all sub-sites within our site. So basically, our Velocity is 9 weeks, and we'll be telling you all about that in this webinar, so I don't need to go further right now. Let's talk about the creative industries. Okay, so a lot of people say, what are creative industries? And it's everything on this page and more. I'll tell you some highlights that we really we feel are really important right now is everything that's in the design, anything that has a design focus around it. And that's, you know, it can be digital design, interactive design, graphics, industrial, lots of different medical design. You know, there's lots of different things going on that uses design as its core. We also work with culinary. And we have a specific interest in health related, we call it creative health tech. We work very closely with Wake Forest Baptist, Novant Health, the health sectors here in our region, and they are very interested in helping find businesses that have art and health or creative, digital health, solving problems in health that use creative artisanal basis. And we've had several that have come through our programs, and it's been quite exciting. Also interactive AR, VR, and all of that. So it's time to talk to you about Velocity. It is a 9-week program. The applications are open now. It will begin the week of July 28th and run for 9 weeks, closing on October 1st. It is street smart. We are mentor driven. We customize the program, and it's cohort based. We choose up to 10 teams to go through Velocity, and a team is one or more. We we like for you to have more than one person, because then you can really build a business. But we understand if you're only one person right now, but we will be encouraging you to think about your concept and your business as a business. And that means more than just, it's not just a project and it's not just a service, but it's a business, and you need to build infrastructure around it. And that's what our mentors work with you on, and that's what the curriculum is based on, is really understanding that you're launching a business into the world. We do make equity-free investments in 3 of the companies, and we will talk about that as we go along. I will just say we are doing Velocity is totally online for those that aren't in Winston-Salem, but for those that are in Winston-Salem, you can come into where our offices are and take the courses in person. However, we will have to just use the guidelines of the North Carolina and the CDC, given the COVID situation. We'll be adjusting things as we need to. So our curriculum is designed specifically for creative entrepreneurs. We work very closely with Chris Mumford, who's a professor at Keenan Flagler Business School in UNC. And we have adapted his Joe Startup curriculum for Velocity. And we have basically licensed it for our use. And we work on the areas that really need to be focused on, which are business models, understanding your market and your industry. And that means who your customer, analyze your market. That's a big bucket, but within that is who are your customers, and talking to customers and making sure that you're actually going out and speaking with customers and telling us what they say, and really getting traction with the learning you have from presenting your idea and hearing what a potential customer might think about it. We work with you on learning how to prepare financials, cash in, cash out, projections for 1 to 3 years, and helping you understand how to develop financials so that an investor might be interested. We don't require that you think about an investor. That's up to you, but we help you present your financials or build your financials so that it could be presented to an investor. But many of our creatives are like building revenue and are doing it very well, and they are bootstrapping their businesses and don't really want to take on investment right away, which is fine. And investors are really more interested once you have revenue and customers and have some traction and what they call product market fit. So we work with you on all those bullets and more. We have a book, a curriculum with videos, and lots of mentors and guest faculty that make it all, glue it all together. So just to go through the weeks, we've got, it's 9 weeks, as I said. We have onboarding the first week, reviewing the syllabus and expectations. Then we will have a kickoff weekend, and that will be in Winston-Salem, unless we can't have it in Winston-Salem. If we have to do it online, we will. But it's a nice way for everybody to come together and meet each other and meet the mentors. It's like a 2.5 day kind of intensive for, to get everybody together. And you get to know each other and the mentors, and we will be going deep on financials that first weekend, as well as customers, and then your origin story. Why are you doing this? What's going on? And helping you develop that origin story down to like 30 seconds, which is what I was asking each of you for, your 30 seconds. Eventually you'll get it. So you can tell what happened in 30 seconds. Okay, think, that's week 3. That's, all about customers, customer experience, customer path, value chain, team building. The curriculum unfolds in a way that's very iterative and very organic for building your business. So it's customers early on and making sure you're out talking to them, sharing with us what they've said. We work with you on a script for, how to talk to customers. And then the actual thinking and creating, what is this thing you're building? I mean, obviously you have it already, a good idea about it, or you wouldn't be applying to an accelerator, but you really have to make sure that you have after you've talked to customers, how am I bringing all that together? What is the haiku? What is my enterprise haiku? That's like your business model. What is it that I'm going to sell from all of what I've learned from customers? And how can I innovate to really make sure that my product is solid and will work in the market? Then we get into product haiku, develop, make, and process map. These are just how are you going to build your product? How are you going to actually, who are your partners? What is the process going to look like? What's your supply chain? What's your distribution methods? All of these things that actually make it so that you can develop and sell and distribute a product. And then once we have all the basics down, kind of the core, as I said, we're going to tackle financials early in the first weekend, so you'll have an idea of what your budgets are, and you can then be building. And as you're developing the business model, you can tweak the financials. And then in the week 6, we talk about go back now. Once you've now developed your business model, you really understand more what you're doing. You've been talking to mentors, and we customize the mentors. We have about 35 mentors, and you can work with the same ones or different ones. And if we get a new company that needs a special kind of mentoring that we don't have, we go out and find a mentor that knows about that vertical. So the mentoring is really key to the whole curriculum. It kind of it goes in hand in hand. And then customer profiling, positioning. So once you really know what you're doing, then it's time to start. How do you tell it? How do you go out and tell people? We have a lot of wonderful marketing mentors and marketing people that can explain all that. And so then that builds into what's my story and what are the materials I'm going to need, my website, my social media, my videos, and then making sure you have the right people on your team. And if you're not ready to build a team yet, planning out so that you will know when it's time, and you'll know what those roles are. The main thing is that you understand what are your strengths out of our program, that you come in and you'll emerge with, okay, this is what I'm good at, and I'm not so good at the marketing. So if I bring on a co-founder or a team person, I need that to be in marketing, or I need it to be in financials, or identifying kind of where you need where your weak links are. And then we do get into sales and fundraising, understanding how, the difference between selling your product and then selling your business. Talking to investors and then talking to customers is different. And we will discuss that with you and help you understand where you're headed with this business growth. And then the final week will be, we call it Velocity Week. We're here in Winston-Salem. We have content delivery, we have expert clinics, workshops, we have legal, we have investors, we have coaches, and then a wonderful, fun demo night, which is when you get to pitch your product to. Usually it's a group of 200 to 300 people. So if we're not able to do it in person live, we will be doing it virtually, but we're hopeful that we can do it. And we've already started talking with the venues about how to do spatial distancing, social distancing. But it's a really good opportunity to get the word out about what you're doing. And that's separate from the final pitches. Demo night is a public event. It's open. You're open to public. You can sell that night. You can take orders. You can get your mailing list going. But then our final pitch night is when you actually pitch to our investor and mentors, and then we have a competition that they're judging you and giving you a score on how you do in a series of goals that you're trying to hit. And I'll tell you more about that as we get through it. Okay, so we talked about kickoff weekend. That's the dates. There's Chris, the second photograph down in the middle. That's Chris from UNC. He also teaches at Wake Forest as well. It's a great time to meet your cohort, identify your business opportunities, and you will learn so much from other members of the cohort too. It's not just from the mentors. It's very much an interactive situation, and everybody is sharing and helping and sharing what they learn, how they went tackle that problem, and then you will learn from their experience, and then they might have a problem that you've learned from already. Then we have, this is the week of the Velocity Week. We have very intense work with mentors. They're basically available around the clock. Lots of expert workshops, demo night, the pitch competition. So we have a pool of $50,000 that is invested into 3 teams. The way it works is the top investment is $25,000, and then $15,000, and then 10. So yeah, 25, 15, and 10. And it's set up as a 0 interest loan. So basically it's seed capital. Most startups at this level can't get a bank loan. You're really, talking with your friends, families, and other people that you can talk to get interest to. But you're too early really for, what we found is very much they're too really early for investors, but they need some funding to get to the next level. And so it's been a really good way of helping them bridge that, okay, I've launched, I'm starting to grow, I've got customers, and then you invest that money into really serious inventory build or marketing spend or going to, trade shows, it's the things that are really going to help you grow your business. As I said, we are mentor driven, 30 plus mentors. The mentors don't just help you during Velocity, they help you year round. So it's a wonderful, supportive atmosphere. They love doing this. They give their 9 weeks, their chunk of time each week. And then during Velocity Week, they all come together. They enjoy doing it as well. But we have it in all sectors: legal, marketing, biz dev, supply chain, strategy, marketing. Lots of great mentors. Here's some of them. Bruce Maxwell, he's our financial guru. He's bought and sold many companies. He's been a serial entrepreneur. He was in Silicon Valley for many years. He's now in North Carolina. I think he's in a startup right now. Bruce cannot stay away from startups. He's just a serial entrepreneur, but he always makes time for us to work with our teams in Velocity. Daryl's an amazing marketing expert. He is awesome with helping advise you how to kind of tease out what is that message, what are the benefits to the customers, not just your features, but what are the benefits? Why would a customer want to buy your service or your product? So you've got to make sure you're flipping it and thinking about customer centric. It's not product centric. It's what is it you're giving your customers, and what problem are you solving? What problem are you solving for them? So I like to stand when I work. So yes, a standing desk is great. A chair desk, well, that sounds really cool. I'd love to know more about that. But anyway, so Daryl's a great one to help with marketing. And Lee is a publishing expert. She's worked for many different publishing houses. She's a marketing genius as well, and can just help you kind of sort out distribution models of where you're gonna go with your product, because she's had such wide experience with delivering through retail, through online, through publishing, wholesale. She kind of really spans the gamut and understands all of that. That's just an example of a few of them. Okay, so here's the slide on the loans. So this is how it works. 3 winners split the $50,000. It's interest free for 1 year, and you don't have. It's available up until June 30th of the year. So you don't have to take it right away, because it then is due back a year from when you take it. So I just had our 3rd place winner just take his loan last week. So it'll be due back May 28th, I think is his date. So it's due back the year from when you take it. You don't have to take it, but you will get support from us. I mean, all of them get support from us throughout the year, but it's an opportunity. And we work with you. We meet with you every 2 months on how you're doing with that loan, how it's working, how you're developing it, how your sales are coming in, all of that. And it's equity free. We don't take any stake in your company. You pay the money back. It's a revolving fund. We then put it back. We're a nonprofit. CCE is a nonprofit. We raise all this money. We raise money to support, to bring on, it costs us about $15,000 per team, per person, actually, to go through Velocity. There's a lot of work that goes into building Velocity and building this program. So it's our mission. It's something we believe in, but we're not interested in having an equity position. We want to help you get started and then help the next one too. So I think we talked about, what our mission is, CCE. We've created and launched all these programs, and we really educate, and our mission is to launch, grow, and accelerate. We want to be known as the organization that can educate, train, and help commercialize creative businesses. That is our kind of sweet spot. I think I'm going to let Kayla take over. Is this where you take over, Kayla?
It is. Did I stop sharing my screen, or do you guys? I think I just changed the view. Hang on.
Yeah, we can see it.
Trying to back it up. There we go. Does anyone have any questions now before we dive in? I'm going to talk more about the application and what to expect, but does anyone have any questions up to this point about what Margaret has covered? Yes, Leon?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. First of all, do you actually share your screen, or is there some presentation because I only see your faces, I don't see anything else.
Yeah, we have our presentation up. Do other people see the slides?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So you're probably in gallery view.
Oh, okay. Now one was over the other. Sorry, I missed the whole thing. Would it be possible for you to send it over?
Yes, I can send the slides out after.
And this is being recorded too, so we can do a recording of it.
Another question. So I have a couple of very quick questions. In order to participate in the program, do I have to be physically present all the time or sometime?
No, that's the beauty of it. What we'd like is for everyone to come together during kickoff weekend, and then again for Velocity Week. Those are the 2 times.
Okay.
But we obviously have to figure out, and we will be figuring that out soon, if we can host the kickoff weekend on, in person. I think we probably can, because we have large spaces where we will be doing this, and we can socially distance. Okay.
Since I'm outside of US, and I'm not sure about the end of the program, but surely for the beginning of the program, there are travel restrictions which will not allow me to go to US. Is that a problem?
No, obviously we have to, if the judges choose your application, choose your team, and you want to participate in Velocity, then obviously if you're not able to come to the program, it is going to be fully available online.
Okay.
Yes.
And the last question for now is, among your mentors or connections, do you have people with experience or expertise in manufacturing?
Oh yes, yes we do. We're a manufacturing hub here in the Triad, so we have access to a lot of people who know how to do that, and we have an actual, where we work is the people that they're known for commercial interior design and build out. So they know everybody in the desk manufacturing. That's how I got my desk, because Peter Marsh said, hey, I want to give you this, because they weren't using it in their space. So there's a lot of resources. There would be a lot, and we're the heart of the furniture industry right here.
So I heard, yes.
Furnishings industry is in High Point. That's where it's based. And we are Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point. It's called the Triad, as opposed to the Triangle, which is Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill.
I know that better.
Yeah, that one's more famous. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good
That's what we
furnishings
do.
resources in North Carolina.
Okay. Okay. Terrific. Thank you for now. Thank you.
Okay, if there are no other questions at the moment, I'm going to keep rolling, but we will have time to answer some questions at the end. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the Center for Creative Economy before we talk about the application itself. As Margaret said, we are a nonprofit organization, and we were founded in 2011. And so our mission really is to launch, grow, and accelerate creative entrepreneurs and businesses, not just in Winston-Salem, but throughout the Southeast. And of course, that has spread to several international companies that have participated in our accelerator, with the goal being to address, as Margaret said, the lack of inception stage business training available for creatives. For a creative that goes through art school, we've learned there's just not a lot of business foundation that will help you to know how to market yourself and know how to set up a successful business. And so we're trying to bridge that gap. There's also a lot of resources available for tech companies that want to create an app, but we're trying to combine the rigor of that business training that's available for a lot of tech companies with the language that creatives and artists speak. So we're good at what we do. We've been running the accelerator for the last 4 years. We've had 40 startup companies go through the program, and those companies have earned a combined $8.1 million in revenue just in the last 4 years. And they have raised $7.4 million in investments. So 90% of those 40 companies are still in business. They're really defying the startup success rate that says that only 1 in 10 startup companies is going to survive their first 5 years in business. And 177 jobs have been created as a result of those 40 companies. We think that these numbers are just going to exponentially just continue to compound year after year as these businesses grow and mature and are able to hire more people and really refine their products and services. And a little bit about Winston-Salem. We do have several Winston folks on the call, but we're known as the City of Arts and Innovation. And I always say that I love that Winston is not just the City of Arts, and it's not just the City of Innovation, but we recognize that when we bring those two things together, we're even stronger than if we just focus on one or the other. Our city has been very supportive of the arts throughout its history. The City of Winston-Salem is one of our sponsors, and we have access to a lot of great entrepreneurial training here in the city, whom CCE partners with, like Mixer, Hustle, Venture Cafe, Flywheel, just to name a few. We closely partner with these organizations that each offer something for a different type of entrepreneur or people that are in different stages of their entrepreneurial journey. So with that being said, let's talk about the application itself and what we're looking for. So an overview of the application, really what we are getting at is for you to tell us your story. Tell us a little bit about where you've been, what it is in your background that led you to want to start this business. Talk about your current needs, what you think you need to be able to take your business to the next level, and where you want to go. So if your business was at full capacity and you were functioning and everything was a well-oiled machine, what would that look like? We want you to envision that during your application because that will help you to plan your next steps. There is an application video, which I'll talk about in just a second. And then if you have a co-founder at this time, we encourage you to apply with your co-founder because if you're selected, all of your team members can participate in Velocity. So it'd be good to go through that process together. So a little bit more about the video. We're looking for an original video that you make just for Velocity. It can be up to 4 minutes long. We want it to be, selfie style so that we can see your face and hear your voice. It doesn't need to be extremely produced or overly edited or anything like that. You can really just record a video of yourself talking. There's 4 questions on the application that tell you what we're looking for, and it's really your why you like to participate in Velocity and what you hope to gain from it. And so you can just use your computer or your smartphone and do it selfie style, and don't focus a whole lot on the production level of that video. Really, your message is the most important thing. There's also a place on the application to upload a product video. So if you have a prototype, or if you have an existing product that you wanted to show, there is an opportunity to show it to us physically through a video. But this application video is required, and really we want you to just focus on the 4 questions that we ask for that video. We say that the successful applicant for Velocity is a creative team of 1 or more that is talking to their customers and discovering what makes their business unique, what it is that their customers really appreciate and need from their business. You could either be solving a problem that exists in your industry, in the marketplace, or creating a unique user experience. So we've talked a lot about, you know, solving a problem in healthcare specifically. A lot of creative businesses offer beautiful artisan goods, products that enrich our lives, creative experiences and things like that. So it doesn't have to be specifically a pain point in an industry. It just needs to be something that sets you apart, something that makes your business unique and that creates a unique experience for your customers. You could be in the prototype phase where you're working on building that first round of products, or preparing to launch your business, or you may already have your product on the market, but due to the current situation or due to just a need that you've seen from your customers, you've realized that you need to kind of change your approach and pivot your business. So if you're in a stage of your business where you're looking to go to that next level and you need some help to get there, Velocity is a good fit for you. We say that successful applicants think beyond just the product. Your product could be really cool, really exciting and innovative, but it's all about building a business that's going to last, and it's all about establishing your customer base that's going to continue to support you. So let's talk a little bit about your investment in Velocity. There's no fee to apply, and in fact, we encourage people to apply, if nothing else, really just to begin to think about your business in that kind of narrative way. So to see those questions and ask yourself, what is my why? What is my reason for wanting to start this business? And where do I hope to go in the future? So we encourage you to check out the application and let us know, of course, if you have any questions. If you're accepted into the cohort, the fee is $995 per person. And so that covers everything that you would need during the duration of the program. It covers your course and materials. It covers the access to the guest faculty and the time with your mentors. We also have functional mentors, and Margaret touched on that a little bit, that are available throughout the program, that are lawyers and financial advisors and experts in marketing and business model. And all of those people have made their time available to the cohort throughout the program, many of whom bill, you know, over $100 an hour for their services. And all of that is included in the program for you. If we're able to do the in-person portion of Velocity, which would be the kickoff weekend and Velocity week, all of your meals and hotel accommodations will be covered as well. And as Margaret said, the cost for Velocity for each participant that goes through on our end, so the value to you, is over $15,000. And we have really tried through our sponsorships and things like that. We've kept the cost for you as low as we can. Okay, so I want to give a little snapshot of the companies that have gone through the Accelerator, just so you can see kind of a little bit about their journey and what they've done since they completed the Accelerator. So Point Motion is a motion capture software company. They were originally based in Boston, Massachusetts, and actually decided to relocate their business to Winston-Salem in 2019. After going through our 2018 Accelerator, Point Motion found that Winston-Salem was a supportive community, that they had access to our medical community and great advisors through Baptist, and that they were determined this is the place that they wanted to start their business. So they just relocated in 2019 to Winston-Salem. So a little bit about what they do. They are able to take motion capture to capture the movements of children that have special needs or disabilities. And they're able to take the physical movements that a child will do in response to a prompt on the screen and translate that into data that their doctors can use to measure their progress over time with their physical therapy exercises. So to be able to take music, something that's fun and engaging, that makes doing physical therapy exercises much more interesting and more engaging, especially for a child who may not want to be focusing and paying attention to physical therapy day after day. They've kind of created a bit of a game out of it that helps kids to be able to and be more engaged with their exercises, and then it's translated instantly into data that their doctors can use to measure their progress over time. Point Motion has raised $300,000 from angel investors since completing the Accelerator in 2018. And they've also received the Innovation Award from PS27 Ventures. And then Jenny Earl is based right here in Winston-Salem. She creates beautiful hand-dyed bandanas that are made from start to finish in the Carolinas. Each bandana comes with a saying that empowers you to be brave, empowers you to be bold, and to pursue your dreams and not let anything stand in your way. So each one is a talisman of bravery, as she calls them. And they're just beautiful bandanas that have a strong message behind it that really resonates with her audience. She's been featured in Martha Stewart Living, Garden and Gun, and Country Living magazines, and her products are now being carried in over 300 stores nationwide. And then a little snapshot of our 2019 cohort. The group that just finished at the end of September of 2019 went on, several of them, to apply for additional grant opportunities through NC IDEA, which is an entrepreneurial foundation that supports small businesses. So Elevate and Astra Hive received the micro grant, which is $10,000 per team. And Live Furnish, our first place winner from 2019, was a finalist in the seed grant for $50,000. So in a short time, they were able to take the pitch and everything that they worked on for Velocity and turn that around to apply for other opportunities. So I want to give a special thank you to our sponsors. NC IDEA is one of those that we wanted to include, and thank them so much for enabling us to do Velocity and to make it possible to continue to do this year after year. We could not do what we do without our sponsors. So just to recap some of these important dates, the application is open now. Our original deadline was June 7th. We've been talking, and as a team, we've decided that we want to give you all as much time as possible that have just recently heard about Velocity. We want to give you as much time as possible to complete that application. So we are extending the deadline to June 15th. It'll be closing at 11:59 p.m. on that day. And we'll be notifying the candidates that get accepted by July 3rd. So then the onboarding will be the week of July 28th. And like Margaret talked about, the kickoff weekend will be August 7th through 9th. It'll be in Winston-Salem if possible, but we are planning and ready for a totally 100% online delivery. And then the online workshops will continue for that point forward through September 24th. And Velocity Week, it's going to be the same as the kickoff weekend. It'll be in Winston-Salem if possible, or completely online if that is what has been determined by our health officials. And that'll be September 27th through October 1st. So you can connect with us, check out our website, velocity.ccetriad.com. There's a recorded version of this webinar from a couple weeks ago that you can rewatch. I'm going to send out the recording from today's session to all of you. And you can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and stay up to date on all the news about Velocity. The second link there for fsuccess.com is where you'll find the application itself and be able to see the questions. That's how you're going to apply for Velocity, and you'll be able to communicate with me and our team, Shelby, through the app, or sorry, through the website if you have any questions about your application. And if you would like to directly email me, you can email Kayla@ccetriad.com. If you wanted to have a one-on-one chat or talk about if you think Velocity is the right fit for you at this time, I'd be happy to do a Zoom call with you or hop on the phone, anything to help get your questions answered. So I'll be your point person if you have any questions about what we're looking for on the application, or if Velocity is a good fit for you. Okay.
Thank you, Kate. I wanted to just say one other quick thing. In addition to the cash prizes, we have a lot of resources that are awarded. Last year we had software development that was awarded by one of our sponsors. So everyone competes for a whole number of prizes. It's not just the loans and the cash, but we've had software development, tech development, we've had marketing, we've had coaching, and and Winston Starts. There's an incubator here in Winston-Salem that takes startups that come out of Velocity or an accelerator program, and then incubates. There's office space and access to mentorship, and just a more intense period that it would follow. And you just have to be based in North Carolina. You don't have to be based in Winston, but you would have to be based in North Carolina to get access to that program. So I just want you to know there's so many benefits to this program other than money. You learn so much about your business, and you get educated about business in general. So it is an amazing opportunity to get smart about business skills and how to really grow a business. And I hope Jeff and Gwen would agree that that's real important.
Yeah, the networks you build, the peer cohorts, getting to know your ecosystem, right? That has such a long tail positive effect on you as a founder and your venture.
Agreed.
Right. Good.
Does anyone have any questions that we can answer for you?
Just curious. Velocity is in Salem, right?
Sorry?
You guys are in Salem, is it right?
Winston-Salem.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeffrey, you're in Asheville.
Right.
What's the relationship between the two cities? Why these two cities?
Well,
they closed?
Okay. So one of the relationships is we are both, I'm an ecosystem partner, but with NC Idea, it's a granting organization that funds entrepreneurial development all across the state. And both Venture Asheville and Center for Creative Economy are ecosystem partners with NC Idea. So we got to know each other. And last year we actually went to Asheville and did this in person with Asheville Creatives, and we can't go in person now. So we asked them to join us, and that they just help spread the word. They're sending it out with their email lists and their social media on it. And we asked them to be on the call today to just so that we can get to know more about them and what they're doing, because I think we're all learning that as we all go online, we can share our resources a lot further. We, at our Momentum event last week, we had a speaker from Virginia, one of our past cohort members who was going to be a perfect speaker for the topic we were going. So it's like, we don't have to just be limited by the, you know, the residential component anymore. And we just think they're awesome, cool people, and wanted to get to know them better. And we really appreciate your hanging in there.
That's the best reason. That's the best reason. No, I was just wondering why these two places, I mean, outside people normally think when they hear about North Carolina, you hear Raleigh and Durham and all these places in the Triangle Park. But
well, we do have partners in Raleigh too, and I think Kayla's reaching out to them. We might be doing one with Raleigh next week. I've lost track. We're doing a lot of these, and what we found this year, instead of going to the locations, we will, you know, set it up with a partner, and then they can promote it. We promote it together and that kind of thing. And we help them when they have stuff that they would be, you know, they need our help on. We're happy to help them. Entrepreneurship is so important in our country and in our state. We all are trying to work together to help build entrepreneurs, because there's not enough resources to really make a real, you know, for every entrepreneur. So if we can kind of work together, it makes it better.
this is great. You're doing great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leon.
Okay, any other questions?
Okay.
Wonderful. Well, again, if you have any questions, my email is kayla@ccetriad.com. So I'd be happy to do a one-on-one call or anything like that, just to help answer specific questions. But thank you all so much for being here. And thank you, Gwen and Jeff, for helping us spread the word and for telling us what's going on in Asheville.
Absolutely. And it's good to know about the extension of the deadline, because we'll keep pushing that so that people know about it. So thank you for
please
that.
keep putting it on your social media channels and emails that you have going out, and we'll share the mindset. We have a webinar, we have a web email going out tomorrow, I think. We'll share Mountain BizWorks Mindset Reset.
Great.
What time is it on that day?
It's 2 to 4, and I'm as soon as we get off, I'll shoot you the visual so that you can.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Friday afternoon.
It's a nice way to end the week.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thanks everybody
Have a good day.
for coming. Good luck with their applications.
Yeah, everybody get those applications in.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.